There's a moment in every entrepreneur's life when they quietly ask themselves a question they don't say out loud. Why is this so hard? Because when you first think about starting a business, it doesn't look hard. It looks exciting. You imagine freedom. You imagine money. You imagine control over your own time. And in your mind, it all makes sense. But then reality shows up, and it doesn't match the picture. You start something, and nothing responds. You try harder, and still nothing changes. You watch other people grow while you stay in the same place. And slowly, a second question appears. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet. Is this even working? But here's the truth nobody explains clearly enough. Your business is not random. Your struggle is not random. Your results are not random. You are inside a stage, and every stage has its own rules. The problem is, most people try to use the wrong strategy in the wrong stage. So in this video, we're going to break something open. Not just how businesses grow, but how you grow inside them. Because a business doesn't just change your income, it changes your thinking, your habits, your identity, and the version of you that survives each stage is not the same person who entered it. So let's go back to where every business begins. Before money, before results, before confusion, the beginning of everything. Stage 1. The idea stage. Every business starts the same way. Not with money, not with skills, not with a perfect plan, but with a moment of imagination. It usually comes when life feels normal, maybe even a little boring. You're doing something simple, scrolling your phone, walking outside, watching someone else succeed, and then it hits you. What if I started something too? And suddenly, your mind opens. You start seeing possibilities everywhere. You imagine selling something. You imagine people buying. You imagine income. You imagine freedom. And in this stage, everything feels easy. Because in your mind, there are no obstacles yet, no customers to disappoint you, no competition to scare you, no failures to slow you down, just pure possibility. This is the most dangerous stage, because it feels like progress, but it is only imagination. And imagination is powerful, but it is not proof. At this stage, you are not building a business, you are building a story in your mind. And here's the trap. Your brain gets satisfaction from the idea, so it convinces you that you are already moving. But nothing has been tested yet. No market, no feedback, no reality, just potential. And most people stay here longer than they realize, because thinking feels productive, planning feels like progress, research feels like work, but nothing has been risked yet, and a business only starts when risk begins. So eventually, a decision arrives. Do you stay in imagination or do you enter reality? Because reality is where the next stage begins, and reality is very different from your thoughts. Stage 2. The starting stage. This is the first collision with reality. You start. Maybe you create a page. Maybe you launch a product. Maybe you tell people what you're doing. And at first, you expect movement, fast movement. But instead, you get silence. No likes, no customers, no attention, no validation. And that silence feels louder than failure, because failure at least means something happened. But silence feels like nothing is happening at all. And this is where most people feel a shift. What if I'm not good at this? But the truth is different. This stage is not about skill. It is about exposure to reality. Because now, your ideas are being tested for the first time. And reality is not emotional. It doesn't reward effort. It rewards alignment. So you try again, and again, and again. Some things fail instantly. Some things feel confusing. Some things almost work, but don't. And slowly, doubt enters. Not all at once, but in small drops. Maybe this niche is wrong. Maybe I should change everything. Maybe others are just lucky. But underneath all of that, something important is happening. You are learning, even if it doesn't feel like it. You are understanding what people ignore, what people respond to, what people avoid, what actually matters in the real world. And then something small happens, a reaction, a message, a first sale, a first client. And it doesn't matter how small it is, because it changes everything. Now you have proof, and proof is addictive because now you are no longer guessing, you are beginning. And that leads you into the next stage, where things start to move, but not in the way you expect. Stage 3, the unstable growth stage. This is where things get interesting, because now your business starts to move, not consistently, but noticeably. You get attention, you make money, you see results, and for the first time, you think, this might actually work. But this stage is emotionally confusing because growth is not stable yet. One day feels powerful, next day feels empty. 1 week feels like success, next week feels like starting over. And your mind starts reacting. You become sensitive to results. If things go well, you feel unstoppable. If things drop, you feel like everything is falling apart. And here's the hidden danger. You start tying your emotions to performance. But business is not emotional. It is structural, and this stage is where most people make their biggest mistake. They start chasing results instead of building systems. They repeat what worked instead of improving what works. They react instead of design. And slowly, growth becomes unstable. Not because the opportunity is gone, but because the foundation is not solid yet. This is where many people quit, because inconsistency feels like failure. But inconsistency is actually feedback. It is the business saying, I'm not fully built yet. If you survive this stage, something shifts. Patterns begin to appear. You notice what works more clearly. You stop guessing as much. You start refining instead of restarting. And without realizing it, you are becoming a builder. Not a tester, not a beginner, a builder. And builders enter the next stage, where things finally start to stabilize. Stage 4, the structure stage. This is where business starts to feel real. Not exciting, not chaotic, but stable. You begin to understand your system. You know what brings customers. You know what doesn't. You know what to stop doing. You know what to repeat. And your decisions become calmer, less emotional, more strategic. But something unexpected happens here. It feels boring. Because the emotional highs reduce. No more surprise wins, no more chaos, no more extreme reactions, just consistency. And many people mistake this for stagnation, but this is actually maturity, because now you are no longer reacting to your business, you are directing it. But there is a hidden danger in this stage too, comfort. Because once things become stable, you stop pushing, you stop experimenting. You stop improving. You start maintaining instead of expanding. And maintenance feels safe, but safety is where growth slows down. So the challenge here is not survival, it is expansion. And if you push beyond comfort, you enter the final stage. The stage where business stops being just a system and becomes something bigger than you. Stage 5, the scale and identity stage. At this level, your business is no longer just something you do. It becomes something that reflects who you are, because now your decisions carry weight. Your mindset affects outcomes. Your clarity affects growth. Your discipline affects scale. And you realize something important. You are not just running a business. You are shaping a structure that responds to you. And here's the shift. You stop asking, how do I make money? You start asking, how do I lead this properly? Because scaling changes everything. Small weaknesses become big problems. Small strengths become massive advantages. Everything multiplies. And this is where identity matters most. Because your business will always reflect your internal state. If you are scattered, it becomes scattered. If you are focused, it becomes focused. If you are consistent, it becomes consistent. And at this stage, you are no longer just building income. You are building leadership. But there is a final truth here. Scaling doesn't remove problems, it reveals them. And how you respond to those problems determines whether you grow further or collapse under pressure. So when you look at your business right now, don't judge it emotionally. Understand it structurally, because every stage has a purpose. The idea stage builds imagination. The starting stage builds courage. The growth stage builds resilience. The structure stage builds discipline. The scaling stage builds identity. And the question is not, why is this difficult? The question is, what is this stage trying to build in me? because your business is not just about money. It is a mirror, and every stage you pass through is shaping a version of you you haven't fully met yet. So don't rush it, don't fight it, learn it, because the stage you are in is not blocking your success. It is preparing you for it, and the person you are becoming is already under construction.